There's a couple of clips that went viral over the last couple of days, and it reminds me once again that all politicians suck. Left, right, oh, but the right's worse than the left, whatever. All politicians suck. They're arrogant. They are power hungry. The ends justify the means. And they generally think you're fucking stupid. And they assume that they know what you think and how you think. I think there are some who are smart enough to know that they know what they don't know. And what these guys do is pander to you. Whether it's hashtag Orange Man Bad or hashtag all immigrants are murderers. They know how to tickle the rage inside of you and make you stop looking at them in their skin suit. I'm talking about people like Gavin Newsom. That guy is 100% just a hollow being who, like in Men in Black, has probably stolen the skin from somebody else, and he puts it on, and oh, it's so tight. I mean, it's so tight. Lots of full of shit politicians out there. But listen, these people are the ones that rise the ranks because they know how to play the game. They're snakes, but I do have a little respect for the fact that they know how to play the game. I think they're scum, but they know how to play the game. And then there's other people, and you just wonder, how the fuck did this person rise the ranks? It's the same way that you wonder about people that are maybe higher up than you in the food chain at your place of work. I had never heard of California Representative Katie Porter until legitimately Tuesday. I guess she is running for governor since it seems like Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, is about to run for president. He's basically cosplaying as Donald Trump online, and some people find it funny. Others are like, hey man, you got a lot of issues in your state, and Newsom knows the correct stats to point at, but there are some other stats to make California not look so good. But he's, I guess, not going to be running for governor, which means a lot of people are going to try to be the next governor of California. Katie Porter, I guess, is a front runner, and I am just baffled as to how, based off of a few clips that I've seen of her over the last couple of days. This exchange with CBS News is something that we're going to stop and go with along the way. I am mind-boggled by this one. Here is California's Katie Porter calling attention to the fact that maybe people need to start asking real questions about her. Here she is.
What do you say to the 40% of California voters who you'll need in order to win, who voted for Trump?
How would I need them in order to win, man?
Well, unless you think you're going to get 60%.
Look at her looking at the camera. She's being condescending to this person who's just asking the same question she's asked everyone else, and then looks at the camera.
Of the vote, you think you'll get 60%? Everybody who did not vote for Trump will vote for you. That's what you're saying.
In a general election, yes. If it is,
I mean, that's so arrogant to think of. Like, any politician that assumes that they have every single vote, quite frankly, is just an entitled asshole. More from California gubernatorial candidate Katie Porter.
it's me versus a Republican. I think that I will win the people who did not vote for Trump.
What if it's you versus another Democrat?
I don't intend that to be the case.
I don't intend that to be the case. Okay. Well, I think there's going to be some Democrat candidates running against you coming out of the woodwork after this. Let's keep going.
So how do you not intend that to be the case? Are you going to ask them not to run?
No, I'm saying I'm going to build the support. I have the support already in terms of name recognition.
I had never heard of you until this interview.
And so I'm going to do the very best I can to make sure that we get through this primary in a really strong position. But let me be clear with you. I represented Orange County. I represented a purple area. I have stood on my own 2 feet and won Republican votes before. That's not something every candidate in this race can say. If you're from a deep blue area, if you're from LA or you're from Oakland, you don't have an experience.
But you just said you don't need those Trump voters.
Well, you asked me if I needed them to win.
So you don't
I
think
feel
you
like
need
this
them
is
to win.
unnecessarily argumentative. What is your question?
The question is the same thing I asked everybody, that this is being called the empowering voters to stop Trump's power grab. Every other candidate has answered this question. This is not
Correct. And I
argumentative.
said I support it.
So, and the question is, what do you say to the 40% of voters who voted for Trump?
Oh, I'm happy to say that. It's the do you need them to win part that I don't understand. I'm happy to answer the question as you have it written, and I'll answer it.
And
Acting like you don't need them to win, even if that actually is true, is frankly just a cunty thing to say, for lack of a better term. You do have to be respectful of people who don't align with you politically. I think we've gotten very far away from that, both on the left and the right. It would be nice if we could get back to not doing that. But more from Katie Porter, who for whatever reason just gets super argumentative here with this CBS News reporter.
we've also asked the other candidates, do you think you need any of those 40% of California voters to win? And you're saying, no, you don't.
No, I'm saying I'm going to try to win every vote I can. And what I'm saying to you is that
Well, to those voters. Okay, so you...
I don't want to keep doing this. I'm going to call it. Okay. Thank you.
You're not going to do the interview with us?
Nope, not like this. I'm not. Not with 7 follow-ups to every single question you
7 follow-ups.
ask.
Every other candidate has answered
I don't
our
care.
follow-ups.
I don't care. I want to have a pleasant, positive conversation in which you ask me about every issue on this list. And if every question you're going to make up a follow-up question, then we're never going to get there.
If you're getting this flustered, how the fuck are you going to run a state? These are just simple questions. This is CBS News California. This isn't Fox News. This isn't some right-leaning institution. This is someone that many would argue is on your side.
And we're just going to circle around.
I am an investigative
I have never had to do
reporter.
this before, ever.
You've never had to have a
end an
conversation
interview.
with
To end
a
an
reporter?
interview.
Okay, but every other candidate has done this.
What part of I'm me? I'm running for governor because I'm a leader. So I am going to make.
So you're not going to answer questions from reporters? Okay, why don't we go through? I will
The reporter's like, shit, I got to bring her back in.
continue to ask follow-up questions because that's my job as a journalist, but I will go through and ask these, and if you don't want to answer, you don't want to answer. So nearly every legislative...
I don't want to have an unhappy experience with you.
Oh my God, lady, you got to move on. This is like the time where I fucked up the audio and I couldn't let it go for the remaining hour of the show. Listen, I'm not running for fucking governor. I don't have the mental wherewithal to do that. I'm a crazy person. But she can't handle a couple of questions about being rather dismissive of right-leaning voters in California who do exist, even if there are not enough to put a Republican governor back in.
And I don't want this all on camera.
I don't want to have an unhappy experience with you either.
I don't want this all on camera. I don't want an unhappy experience. Oh, we'll get to more of those in a moment.
I would love to continue to ask these questions so that we can show our viewers what every candidate feels about every one of these issues that they care about. And redistricting, it's a massive issue. We're going to do an entire story just on the responses to that question. And I've asked everybody the same follow-up questions.
I bet that she thought that she would maybe have some power after the fact to edit this out too. More Katie Porter, who I was unaware of, completely unaware of. I'm a political casual until earlier this week. This, I guess, is a video showing a government recording between Katie Porter and the Secretary of Energy, Jennifer Granholm. And this lady, she just comes off as a bitch. It's really all I can say. I don't know her. Maybe she's not. Maybe she's great. But she doesn't treat the people that are working with her particularly well, and she's trying to make people think she's a leader. More Katie Porter.
Than 500,000 Californians dying prematurely to air pollution and other problems, and the state could lose. Get out of my fucking shot.
I wanted to tell you that that's actually incorrect. It's not that it's electric vehicles. It's that if we don't meet the commitments under the Paris Climate Accord.
Okay, it does. Okay, you also were in my shot before that. Stay out of my shot. Okay.
This is something that drives me absolutely crazy in the radio industry. I think there's a lot of hosts who treat their producers like shit when they slip up. And every now and then, if you're in the middle of a show and you ask your producer to do something and it doesn't go 100% according to plan, it can be a little bit frustrating. But to get to a point where you're talking shit, belittling people that are on your staff, like I don't see how people can operate that way. Maybe I'm naive and maybe I could never be a leader because of that, but this lady seems to be a control freak who snaps very quickly. And there's more. Again, I did not know about her until yesterday. Here is more Katie Porter. This is her, and I don't know what she thought she was doing on Bill Maher with Piers Morgan and Bill Maher, and somehow she contradicts herself very quickly over the course of a minute while being extremely unlikable.
A bad judgment.
Right, but the real scandal is not that he wants to do it. It's
kind of old.
What?
Right now. I mean,
You guys sound kind of old right now. More Katie Porter.
let's be
Sorry?
Yeah, it's such a bullshit.
are immature. That's why they're kids.
Not at 21. Not all over the world.
21-year-olds are immature. That's why we don't let them drink until they're 21. That's why some of us don't think that 20-year-olds or 19-year-olds ought to be able to go get AR-15s.
They can go fight.
I mean, you can serve in the military. Good point by Bill there.
I think there are
They
arguments.
can be in the army.
Well, I think that's
She looks like Umbridge from Harry Potter.
a discussion we should have, because I think
They
the
can
more we
vote.
know about
I thought if you vote, you should be able to have a certain level of maturity. They're deciding whether you should be in Congress or not.
well,
By the way, she started off talking about how they're acting old and there are also people who are too young.
and by the way, I win those votes.
What?
And I win those votes, and I'm proud of it. But
She's so cocky too, thinking that she can get votes from the right because she's done it before in Orange County. One more time, in case you missed that moment.
Be able to have a certain level of maturity. They're deciding whether you should be in Congress or not.
well, and by the way, I win those votes.
What?
And I win those votes, and I'm proud of it.
Is she going to win the youths over? Talking like this? It's like she thinks she has your opinion and your politics in her back pocket. And there's a lot of this going on these days. Whether it was the left more so a couple of years ago talking down to the right, and now the right, the pendulum swinging back, the right making some demands of the left. When you demand someone does something, or expect something of someone, there's going to be a lot of people who just say, fuck you. And there's not even any logic behind it. It's just being stubborn. It's a great part of being an American. You have the right to do that. But the way she talks the entitled nature with which she carries herself. It just sucks. More from Katie Porter on Bill Maher.
But what I'm
So
saying
you just
is
said you
that-
win the votes of the immature.
Well, but the immature, first off, immaturity is not necessarily an age thing. You can be immature well.
But you just
into
played
your
the age
adulthood.
card.
Yeah.
You were like, our argument sucks because we're old. Which is
No,
so,
I didn't say that. I
that's
said
getting
you
so
sounded-
boring.
And by the way, I've only
She really did just say that in that moment in time. This is the Katie Porter show, everybody. There's one last clip that I wanted to play. And she seems to have a lot of issues with lighting and with cameras when she's doing interviews. And all of this is starting to get leaked out. So it doesn't seem like the people that work for her seem to like her particularly much. But more Katie Porter fighting the fight that I fight every single day. The fight of being white under a light.
Oh, yes. This is why I didn't want to. I need the lights off, the bright lights. I'm so sorry, but I am about to get on. Bernard, I need you to turn these off. These that are killing me. Hang on one second, everybody.
No, we should put the computer up on it.
Yes, yes, we should have. Yes. Okay, everybody. I'm not that dark.
That's too dark.
Look at that look. Look at this look. Look at her.
Not that dark.
The lighting doesn't matter at all, by the way. Like, honestly, you know, the bright, the dark, not to be lookist here, but your look isn't helping your appeal in the same way it might help an AOC.
That's too dark.
Just a minute.
She's so pissed. Oh, it's just dark.
Okay, everybody. I'm sorry
Get out of my shot! Get the fuck out of my shot!
about that. I am in a TV studio getting ready to go on Cuomo. And so I had all those studio.
So there you go, everybody. That's Katie Porter. Never underestimate the arrogance of a politician. They assume they know what you think, and they assume they have your support if you even share a few of the same opinions. They think they're smarter than you. And you're just a very, very small percentile means to an end. A lot of people like this. I don't know how the fuck this person became a top candidate to be the governor of California. I really don't. I really don't. So this might be the end for Katie Porter. I don't know if my show is going to be the one to sink her, but Jesus Christ.